Alan says, if only I didn't get 9. Your qual didn't matter. You got a free entry. All right, here we go. We have readies for both players. We're going to get started here with game number 1 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And, despite this being a David versus Goliath matchup, 1 versus 16, well, you need to look at the tail of the tape here because DanV, is he still the Twitch TV champion in friendlies? I always ask this, and I don't know if anyone ever tells me. And yeah, thanks for making the bed. Dan did not do his Game Genie, so he's going to do that very quickly and get in. He'll be about 4 lines behind. Dan with a 1.44 PB. He rolls out of the UK. And Alan, not that far behind, a 1.38 PB, also rolling out of Singapore. T-spin for Alan to get things going after his Tetris. Bang Tetris again. So let's see. It's about an 8-line difference between Alan and Dan. So not a big deal. Yes, still undefeated. My God. He's a regular head of the table over here. Both players not burning. Well, now Alan's burning, so Alan with the first burn of the game. But we'll follow that up with a quick Tetris. And bang Tetris for Dan. Dan having to clean up some Garbo here. But should get that out of the way and looking for a well transfer as well. Oh, what? That was a T-flop. Alan looking very clean right now. Didn't he play Daz on one of his defenses? I think he did against Martz, if I remember correctly. Which was that was a funny series too, because he almost lost. Dan with a couple of misdrops here, not rotating a piece that's going all the way to the left. Oh my goodness! And Dan is not in trouble, but he's annoyed. Let's put it that way. So Alan currently at 192, Dan at 145, but Dan's going to be busy for a while. Bang Tetris for Alan. Oh, you're getting back to the unmodified game, yeah. Alan getting up high, but gets a long bar. Bang Tetris. Dan still working his way through those last few misdrops, but should be getting this down sooner than later. Alan getting up pretty high. Needs a long bar or something. He's going to have to plug the well. Gets a long bar after he covers the well, but gets another one shortly thereafter. And bang Tetris for Alan. 272 for Alan. 162 for Dan, who's going aggressive with a column 4. And immediately gets punished. Oh, gets it cleared. And bang Tetris for Dan. Well done. Looks like he's going for party down the middle here. Nope, he's not waiting. Bang Tetris for Alan. And Dan is clean. But the damage is done. Even though there's a 13-line difference, it's still a 150,000 point lead for Alan. Both players will score a Tetris. Dan looking for a couple of tucks here. Many tucks. Oh my goodness. These pieces do not love him. But he gets the square, finishes all his tucks. Bang Tetris for Alan. And trying to avoid burns, but then just got that Z that he couldn't do anything with. Bang Tetris for Dan. Still looking for a way back in this down now 160,000 points, but back by 15 lines, so he can make up about 88,000 of that. Bang Tetris for Alan. It's another Tetris for Dan. And now playing clean. Looks like he's got some momentum behind him. Getting some Tetrises. Scoring some points. But Alan is just not opening the door for him. Good adjustment on that long bar from Dan, seeing that S coming. But not getting the follow-up piece he needed. Now going to have to clear a couple lines. Alan already at 500,000 as we're approaching transition. Dan going for a 6-3 stack. And bang, Tetris for Dan. Transfers that over back to the right. Bang Tetris for Dan again. Interesting play from Alan. I thought he was going to use the T to tuck it in, and he got like 3 of them. And at first it looked like, oh yeah, he's just making sure that he doesn't block his ability to burn lines if he needs to. But then he put a T down and didn't tuck it. And I was like, interesting. We're in transition. 540 for Alan. Dan's still about 10 lines away. And Tetris for Dan. So Dan's actually going to have caught up a little bit. Provided he can get these last couple of Tetrises. Bang, Tetris for Dan. Unoriginal name. Welcome in. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? You know what? I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it right now. But we're going to put it up for 1 minute. So get these in quickly. This is not a long prediction. 1 minute prediction, go. Bang Tetris for both players. Dan has closed the gap. Oh, it does look like he's got a 100,000 point deficit, but he's also 10 lines behind, and Alan is in a bit of a spot here, although this is cleanable. So, I mean, this is still anyone's game. Oh, Alan needs a long bar for the left and is not getting it. Has to fill in. Oh, the long bar comes after he plugs the well. Still is open. He's still leaving this open, but it's just going to burn this down. Dan is almost all the way caught up here on pace. In fact, he may have a pace lead at this point. 706 for Alan, 614 for Dan. There is a difference of 20 lines. Which at this level is I'm pretty sure that's a pace lead for Dan. 5 Tetrises is about, what, 150? But he doesn't have the full lead yet, so he's still got work to do. Alan tucking in that T, but then he misdrops another. Oh, this is bad for Alan. He's not going to get a piece over to the left. He's going to top out 719, 720. Dan's just got to play calm. Not quite line-outable yet. A few triples will certainly get him into that range, but the pieces coming are not all that great. And he's still trying to dig this down. Now Dan's got this dug out. Level 26 still needs about 52,000 points. And looking for a long bar. Gets the long bar. Bang, Tetris. Needs one more. Oh, he's not going to get it right now. But fortunately for him, he will get this before 29, no matter. And there's the Tetris. Bang, Tetris for Dan. He's good for game number 1. I'm going to say no matter if he lines it out or not. But he will take game number 1. Had a bit of a shaky start for Dan, but he hangs on and gets the first heart. All right. Get ready for game number 2. We will get started. the ready from Dan. There's a ready from Alan. Here we go. Game number 2. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, that is pretty warm. 78 degrees. Lily noting this is the winner of the Classic Tetris UK versus Classic Tetris Singapore. Well, if game 1's anything to go by, this could be a pretty good set. Dan can get a Tetris. Alan got a Tetris as well, but since then, things have not gone well. So Tetris for Dan. There's Tetris for Alan. So Alan, very efficient getting out of that early jam. And we'll score another Tetris here. Dan with the Tetris. Dan looking for a long bar. Alan gets 2, but Dan's got nothing over here. Dan, oh my goodness. Rolling his way out of that. Still needs a long bar. Gets it. Bang Tetris for Dan. There's a Tetris for Alan. Dan had a slight lead at 23 lines, so yeah, right now 122 to 120 at 27 lines. Bang Tetris for Alan. Dan's going to clear a couple lines before getting another one. And these pieces just suck for Dan right now. But making the best of them. 8 of Spire in the middle, and then immediately goes to fill out the left side. Tetris for Dan. There's another Tetris for Dan. Oh, a bad T drop for Alan there. Alan looks like he will recover. Still going to take some work, though, is that Jay. Oh, my goodness. Alan in big trouble. And Alan's not going to survive this. Alan's going to top out again early this time, handing game number 2 over to Dan. So Dan up 2-0. Let's see if Alan can get back into this. Shoutouts to my wife who just handed me a nice tall glass of coffee. All right. If we get a ready from both players, we'll start game 3. Have the ready from Dan. Alan thinking about what he's done. And it looks like he's ready to go. So here we go. Game number 3 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Let's see if Alan can get back into this. We saw what he could do in game number 1 with that over 500,000 transition before 120 lines. So Alan's certainly capable of running with Dan here. Let's see what happens here in game 3. Bang Tetris for Dan to get things started. And 2 of them. Alan looking for a long bar. He's getting everything but. So he's going to have to fill in that side. And that's Alan in a dig to start. No long bars early. And now they come. The well isn't open. Oh, come on. Let's get out of this, Alan. Nice split double there will bring down the stack to a more comfortable level. And he's got the right side open. He will cover it one more time to make the stack a little more sane. Opens it right back up. There's a long bar. Bang Tetris for Alan. And another one. So good survival from Alan. Showing some grit here in game 3. Could have been just as easy to just say, you know what, these pieces don't agree with me. I'm going to play another day. But Alan's, no, I'm going to fight. He's going to fight. 128 for Dan. 86,000 for Alan at 34 lines. D coffee, yes. Bang Tetris for Alan. Yeah, through all that, Alan's only back 2 Tetrises here, so he keeps with this. It should be looking good. Shepard cheering on Alan here. Bang Tetris for Dan. There's a Tetris for Alan. Alan, another long bar, another Tetris. 40,000 point lead still on the side of Dan, although Dan did burn a line there. He's going to score another Tetris. There's a Tetris for Alan. Now, Alan with an interesting board. His pieces are not letting him fill out the left side. Now he gets the left side kind of set up. This is a little jank for Alan. No misdrops or anything, but just weird pieces. But he settles it down very nicely. He's got the right side open. But he's fallen behind 61,000 points now. Dan getting into a couple of burns here as well. Got a double well. It's bang Tetris for Dan. But now it's going to have to deal with this double well. Get to the long bar for it. Take one more line. So 292 for Dan. 233 for Alan. Call it about a 60,000 point lead. Certainly a close game. Bang Tetris for Dan. Tetris for Dan again. Alan's got the right side. Ready to go. Bang Tetris. Dan with a super delayed Vitz that did not work out. And it's going to be a while before that Vitz gets resolved. Bang Tetris for Alan. That's the opening that Alan needs to get back in this. He's currently down 45,000. Dan is still burning. Finally resolves the Vitz. Bang Tetris for Dan, followed by a misdrop. We've seen him do that misdrop a couple of times. He gets something all the way over to the left, and it doesn't rotate. So Alan, with a good opportunity to get back in the stand, he's got the right side open, but he's up really high. He's going to get a long bar. Bang Tetris for Dan. Keeping things at a manageable level. Bang Tetris for both players. Delayed. Yeah. Emphasis on the word delayed. It's delayed by about 20 lines. Felt like it anyway. Got Blue Ring in here saying that this is a POG matchup. Alan going to open up the right side. Bang Tetris. And now it's going to have to clean up this mess. So we're approaching transition. We're about less than 20 lines off. Oh, this looked like it was going to be an aggressive setup, but Alan thought the wiser of it. Ugh. I feel like Alan's digs, he just can't buy a break in some of them. One more Tetris for Dan will put him into transition, and it is looking like a good transition. Looking like a, what, 563? Yeah, there it is. Bang Tetris, 563. Dan is off and running in 19. And still scoring Tetrises like it's 18. Alan 1 row away from level 19. He will Tetris into it. 443. So, yeah, Alan's fallen behind quite a bit here. And a couple of extra digs that Dan did not get to do. Now needs a long bar or some way to... Oh, nice burn there. Trying to keep his well clean. Now just needs a long bar. Bang Tetris. Dan gonna have to clear a few lines, but he's up by 180,000 points, but also ahead by a level. Bang Tetris for Alan. Dan looking for a dirty one here. Bang Tetris for Alan. Bang dirty Tetris for Dan. Alan still scoring. Dan content playing 1 row up here on 19. He'll score another Tetris. 712 for Dan. 555 for Alan. Alan getting into a bit of trouble. Needs a long bar here. Well, that'll work too. Really trying not to fill in that hole without like a long bar or something. Finally does get a long bar for it, and things are looking a little better for Alan. Bang Tetris for Dan. Oh, Alan going for dirty boy. Needs a long bar. There it is. Bang! Dirty Tetris for Alan. That was 3 rows up. And he's going to burn this down. So strong play there from Alan. 818 for Dan. Bang Tetris, 634 for Alan. 8 lines of difference. Oh, bit of a misdrop there for Alan. Oh, and he covers well, just a long bar shows up, but then gets some nice burns. Bang Tetris for Alan. Misdrop for Dan here on 26. So Dan's going to be clearing this out. Shouldn't take him too long. Alan needs a long bar. He needs it now. Where's the long bar? It's not coming. Alan still aggressively keeping the well open. Bang Tetris for Alan and another one. 872 for Dan. 737 for Alan. Both players will score a Tetris. 900,000 for Dan right now. He's approaching max out. Tetris for Dan. He's got 3 more to get. But Dan's board is looking like he's not going to get many. Oh, Dan's board is breaking down. Oh, Dan. What can you do here? And Dan is somehow still alive, but this is getting unmanageable, and he's going to top out 948, 800. Alan's got some work to do on the kill screen. Right side open. Where's the long bar? Long bar's not coming. He's burning the bang Tetris for Alan on the kill screen. 927. He needs 1 more. Could also just line this out. Needs 7,000 points. Is this actually happening? There it is. 1 more. And yes, Alan takes game number 3 on level 31. After Dan topped out with the lead on 28. What a comeback from Alan, and that kill screen Tetris was huge. Absolutely huge. Alan going to play this out, looking for the max. Got 982. Well, that T is going to complicate matters a bit. And can't get these over. So 983 for Alan. Completing the comeback. Dan says I deserve to lose because war crimes. Oh, God. That means we're going to have a game 4. And I'm thinking back to like the first 20 lines of Alan's game and how dire the situation was. And You could have just put the controller down and walked away. And I don't think anyone would have blamed him. But he didn't. And he kept playing. And he kept playing. And he just wouldn't go away. Even almost 200,000 points down. And took his opportunity on 29. Scores game number 3. Let's see if we can keep this going. Game 4. We have a ready from Dan. And there's the ready from Alan. Here we go. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So game 1 was pretty good, but Dan came away with the victory. Game 2, Alan sent a gift box over Dan's way. But game 3, oh my. Absolute banger that Alan will take. But now we start game number 4. And both players will get a Tetris. Dan with an extra line burnt. But keeping that stack looking good. It's pretty important. Long bar dependency for Alan here, and he's not going to be able to reach the right side, so just going to throw that long bar. Oh, he doesn't get the long bar over. What's going to happen here? Alan burns things down. And bang, dirty Tetris for Alan. After a horrid misdrop of the long bar. That was scary. Dan has just been playing clean right now. 96,000 for Dan, 56,000 for Alan. Dan looking for a long bar here. He's not getting one. He's going to have to start burning some lines. So this is a long drought for Dan. He's even covering as well and not getting the long bar. There's the long bar finally. Bang Tetris for Dan. Alan is clean all the way down to the bottom. Got the long bar. Bang Tetris. T-spin. T-flop. Feels flop, man. So Alan going to have to burn some more lines. I don't think that L wanted to do that. I'm not quite sure what happened there. But Dan, ooh, Dan, again, piece over to the left and not flipping. Seen that misdrop repeated a few times on his side. Hasn't been fatal or anything for him, but certainly obnoxious. Bang Tetris for Dan. 207 for Dan, 139 for Alan, although Alan is back by 6 lines. Interesting choice on that long bar for Alan. And bang, dirty Tetris for Alan. Are you kidding me? Nice aggressive play. I like it. If I tried that, I would have topped out and, like, not get another line or something. Adjusting that Z so the square can move over. Bang Tetris for Dan. Lee Pine Frine, thanks for the raid. Welcome into the Challengers orange bracket. Bang Tetris for Alan. So about even lines here. 277 for Dan, 234 for Alan. A 2 Tetris lead. But Dan is going to have to take some burns because, again, another mini drought there. Bang Tetris for Dan. And another Tetris for Dan. So Dan surviving that little drought. Lark says those thighs from Alan, though. Damn. What the heck? No, I do care. Don't sue me. All right, 375 for Dan, 285 for Alan. About a 90,000 point lead right now. Bang Tetris for Alan. Dan in a bit of a spot, does get a triple to clear all that away, and bang Tetris for Dan. Scan, what's up? Welcome in. Bang Tetris for Alan. Ooh, a double flip for Alan. Could cause a misdrop on that left side. Should be able to dig out of this. He's trying to do it efficiently, but it's going to take some extra lines, unfortunately. But otherwise, looks good. And Alan is clear. 455 for Dan. Bang Tetris for Alan. 384. So still about a 3 Tetris lead for Dan. We're approaching transition. Oh, Alan in a bit of a spot. So he's going to be burning some more lines. Possibly going aggressive here. No, it's just going to triple. Kind of dialing back the aggression when it seemed like it was too much. Alan's got a couple of long bar dependencies here. Transition right around the corner. Dan's transition is not going to be fun. He's looking for a Tetris into transition? Are you kidding me? He's going to get a triple, followed by another triple. So he burns it down safely, but bang Tetris for Dan. He transitioned around 500,000. Alan with the long bar. Whoa! The triple flip into transition. 424. So about a 4 Tetris lead, a little less than 4 Tetris lead going into transition. Certainly overcomeable, but Alan's going to have to play sharp. Long bar, bang Tetris for Alan. Dan uncovering a hole in his stack, and then bang Tetris. Again, Dan with about a 9-line advantage. Bang Tetris for Dan, there's a Tetris for Alan. I guess not really an advantage, because having more lines isn't really an advantage. Alan's board looks nasty. Able to burn. Oh, and he misdrops a few pieces, and that's probably going to do it. Alan going to top out at 535. Dan is good for game number 4, and Dan will take the set and move on. So GG. Let's get your points assigned here. Oh, wow. That was a big 94% on Dan there. There you go. Get things set up over here. Oh, the site is running very slow right now. Well, we have picked things up here. Let's go ahead and give him a win. And 3-1. Dan will be back in a bit here. As we take a quick look at the orange bracket. I thought I set this up in advance. Did I not? I do. What's going on here? Let's try that. There you go. And moving on to the second round, we'll play the winner of our next match, Sodium and Nenu. Hang tight. We'll get that one going in a moment. we have Sodium and Nenu going live here? Are they on alternate channels? Do I have their channels right? That's a question. Right now I only see one of our competitors in the chat room. Okay, I don't know the alt. Sounds good. Meanwhile, we need to find ourselves some sodium. All right, well, I'm all set. Nenu's all set. Sodium is not all set. So, yeah, let's see what's going on here. Trying to see if we may know what's going on with sodium. Meanwhile, enjoy some Nenu 19.5? Well, that is. Eric says, since when has Nenu been rolling? Yeah, uh-oh. Alright, so I've reached out to Sodium. I've not heard back. He's showing offline on... Sodium said he will be late. Okay, do we know how late? Aha, so Sodium's the reason for the delay. Alright. Let's see, let's see. Duke. Everyone seems surprised that Nenu is rolling. Am I the only one not surprised by this? That is a big gambit. It's definitely a lot of Nenu face. That's for sure. Pine saying, good luck to Sodium and Nenu. Have a good evening. If you're going to play, you pretty much need to be... I mean, I would say, like, in general, if you're going to play, I'd say if you're going to play and compete at the highest level, you probably need to be rolling at this point. Like, even though the line cap's been implemented, I mean... You're not going to see a whole lot of tapping getting to level 40. So yeah, I'm not sure how long Sodium's going to be. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. Did we, Dan, do you know when he said he'd be around? I did as well, Pumpy. But apparently the reason why we had to get started a half hour late was because of Sodium. So it's just a question of when will Sodium be here. He said he would definitely be back an hour after the original time. That was 22 minutes ago. I think he overdosed. Yeah, on Sodium. See what's going on with that. I have noticed a few people in chat from what was supposed to be the 10 o'clock match in the Futures Green. I'm still waiting on a restreamer for that. It was supposed to be me, but this got moved back. Oh, do we have someone for it? That would be great if someone gets Futures Green. I was worried that wasn't going to happen. That's the reason I picked it up in the first place. Because like, well, I mean... no one's going to take it. I'm here already. Might as well do it. But then this got moved back half hour, and that kind of threw everything into the air. But that's okay. Things happen. It's internet. It's amazing. It's amazing these games happen at all. Ask Nenu about internet. Probably no one knows more about things that could possibly go wrong at the worst possible time than Zafani and Nenu. Is there a glossary of the events so we know what green versus orange versus challengers versus futures mean? So the color is just the quadrant of the bracket you're in. So in fact, here, let me just go ahead and bring up the full bracket. So here you see the entire bracket for the challengers event. And we are playing the top 4, the orange quadrant. The challengers versus futures, that kind of thing. There's masters, challengers, futures, hopefuls. Those are the 4 named brackets. And then you have all the community brackets, which are tiered, tier 1, tier 2, etc., so on. Those are separate tournaments, and each different tournament is a different skill based on your qualifier. So challengers is the second highest. And in fact, the winner of the challengers gets an entry into the next Masters event, which will be happening in November. And you're long enough to remember when it was just Masters and Challengers? Yeah. Cheese did not make it in this month. I watched his quals, actually. And at like 50 minutes, he had not recorded a score. And then he got a 1.1 and had one more match and one more chance to score high, and he did not. He topped out after 19. I don't remember when, but it was not a high game. And I think he just decided not to qual. Oh, cool. Sunny's going to take green. So Futures Green is going to be a Sunny disposition over on MT2 in about 30 minutes. I'm trying to remember if Challengers was always a thing. Like, I think even that was something that got added at some point. Masters and Community, yeah. And I think there was even a time when the community did not have tiers, even. They just dumped everyone in the community tournament. Who remembers no max out left behind? $50-player Masters event, let's go. Yeah, that's what it would be now. They had no max out left behind for literally, it literally mattered in only 1 month here. And I think it ended up with 19 people in the bracket, so there's like around 0 for 3 games. Probably Dan talking about even random people who didn't exist. Probably the one quote random person that really made me giggle was everyone knows Miles the Great, and then there's Kilometers the Average. It's like, where did this guy come from, and why is he as good as Miles? It's just like, what the heck? It was funny. Probably one of the best names in the Tetris community. Kilometers the Average. Good old Nolan. Didn't even realize Kilometers the Average was Miles the Great reference. Yeah. it's pretty hilarious. That's dumber than delayed vids. Not as dumb as the delayed Vits we saw in your matchup. That was a pretty dumb Vits. And very delayed. Alright, I gotta turn on the fan because this coffee is making me a little warm. Let's see. I don't think Sodium has joined us yet. And he is a half hour over when he said he'd be here, so I don't know if... I'm kind of unclear what the protocol is when a player doesn't show for their bracket when they said they would. So I guess that's a question for Vandy Pumpy. Eric's going for the Discord call. Good luck, because I don't see him online. Pumpy says, oh, did I not hit send? Oh, no. Pumpy. Wallband says, I'll knock on his door real quick. You can do that? Send ruins over to his house again? Wait, is this a repeating occurrence? Has this happened before? Rules are clear. Sodium needed to be available 40 minutes after the start of the stream, then a 15-minute timer. Now we're over an hour after the stream began. So by that logic, he should have been here by 9:25 at the absolute latest. It is ultimately up to the super streamer preference. Being a little flexible is fine, but if we need to move on, we need to move on. I guess this would come down to the players at this point, since I all of a sudden find myself with a little free time this morning. What's the schedules look like for Nenu and Dan? Like, how long are we willing to wait here? I'm not at all in a hurry, but obviously I'm not the only person involved here. It's 11:32 for Nenu. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Free for a couple hours. There you go. So let's put a 15-minute timer up. As soon as I figure out how. I don't even know if I can do this. I'm going to try to do something here. Where is this? Just have to go to the Queen's funeral in 5 minutes to get into line for when it happens on Monday, right? Timer, Nixie, right? That's what this one. Yeah, that's what this one is. Okay. There it is. Let me do something with it. This is gonna be a little jank, but it'll work. Actually, that's going to be a display capture. Hold up, let me do this in studio mode. All right, display capture. Let's see what happens. We want what display? 2 or 3? Which one? 3. All right, so there's 3. And then I just make this thing tiny. so that it doesn't show my entire life on my desktop. There. It's a timer. We have a timer. How do I start this thing? I just click it. Start timer. Yeah, all right. We have a countdown. Should this hit 0 before Sodium arrives, Zafania and Nenu will make it to round 2. So. Also say hi to my mouse. Also, what I did not realize is that now I can't use Discord. Oh, yeah, I can use Discord because... Wait, I thought that would be... Hold on. No, I can't use Discord. And now you see my... Oh, jeez. Everything's going wrong. Okay, we'll do that. And I will move this over here for now. I told you this would be jank. I wasn't wrong. This is very jank. Oh, God. Why? Use your phone. All right, I think I'm good here. So yeah. So current status, of course, Nenu's ready to go here. You can see him warming up on 18. Sodium on the left is a little tardy, unfortunately. Hopefully he makes it here, but apparently he said he'd be here an hour after the original start time, and that was 37 minutes ago. And for the sake of keeping things somewhat moving along, we're just going to put this timer up. And like, by the official rules, we could definitely count them out, but we'll give them a bit here, because I would hate to just DQ someone because something happened. But even if something happens, I mean, the show must go on. It is a tough spot to be in, for sure. And, Humpy, I appreciate the insight and with everything. So, this is actually the first time I've run across this before. I mean, outside of Deathmatch. It happens at Deathmatch more often than I would like it to, but that's Deathmatch. Who cares? There's nothing on the line but your life. So... It's going to open up over the timer. Oh, it did not. Good. And nutricic acid. Welcome back. Match is considered missed if you are 15 minutes late. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we'll keep that in mind. Did you? Yes, you did raid. Welcome in. I'm not sure where Sodium is in the U.S. or if he's like on the West Coast. Still pretty early out here. Definitely a sleep-in type of day. But I don't think that's why he was late to begin with. So hopefully whatever came up isn't too serious. Sodium is East Coast, so it's like noon over there. We'll pass almost 1. Should call his mom. Yeah, I'm not even sure what like the nature of his needing to start late was, but we were able to accommodate with the change of start time, but yeah, we're looking at moving on without him if he's not back shortly. I'm actually going to hit this add button because I haven't hit it in a while, and I don't want it to do like mid-roll ads or whatever the crap it does. So I'll hit that before the next game. For those of you that don't know who Pixeltris is, that anyway. If you do know who Pixeltris is, you don't care if I hit that button. I don't know about you, but I definitely would like to see Sodium make it, because I definitely want to see this match. Like, I had this day marked on the calendar because the matches looked so hog. Look at the Spire from Nenu here. Oh my god. These pieces. Now he won't get a J forever, yeah. Well, we're just about halfway through these 15 minutes, and still no sign. Sodium still showing away on Discord. I don't know. Maybe you should call his mom. If calling his mom gets him in here, yeah, I'd be fine with that. Oh, that spin. Come on. Totally unnecessary spin, but it looks so swag. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you both for hanging in there while we figure out what to do. Either way, there's definitely going to be more Tetris, so stick around. And Nenu will be involved one way or the other. Dan will be involved too. We just don't know how soon. Hello? This is Overdose? Is your son Sodium around? He's late for a Tetris match. I can see that conversation going. Sodium is fighting time and losing. Oh. What they say, time keeps on ticking. Lapis has an idea. Let's do futures while we wait for Sodium. Well, Sunny's going to be taking futures over on Monthly Tetris 2 in about 15 minutes. So that will be happening, but we'll be underway before then, one way or the other. Darn. Wow, Dan putting the smackdown on Pumpy Heart of all people? We gonna do Lapis versus Nenu? Is that what's happening? Hey, look, Dan, it's a Vitz. Pumpy. Can't time out the mods. See, that's why he did it. He knew he wouldn't get in trouble from you. No, Dan, that's a good thing for Pumpy. We don't want him to be free from YouTube. How else is he going to fix it in post if he can't post it to YouTube? Oh, we got 3 minutes. I mean, we're going to have a match in about 3 minutes, whether or not Sodium shows up. So hang tight. We're just trying to fill the time with silliness. My question is, would the free time involve getting more pies thrown in your face? Yeah, it's not looking good for Sodium right now. Still showing him offline on Discord, and this timer, dude, be popping off, yes. Oh, what's this series of unfortunate tucks? There you go. Sounds like a great name for a movie, A Series of Unfortunate Tucks, starring Jim Carrey. Also, pace anyone? This is like a 600 transition. Was that movie even good? I don't know. I didn't see the movie, but I did play the game. And the game was pretty good. It was a logic game, and I like those kind of games. But it was a ripoff of another game. And I don't remember what the game was. They both came out around the same time. Yes, a series of unfortunate events had a game. Was that the name of it? That might not have been the name of it. Oh. Yeah, Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Well, there's apparently also a platform game based on it. Wow. I did not know that. Apparently there's a board game for it? Oh my god. Like, there's all kinds of games for it. A lot of advertising around that game. 20 seconds for Sodium. we're going to be forced to move on. I'm going to press the button just on the off chance he's live on Twitch. But I don't see it. Oh, this thing makes noise when the timer's up, doesn't it? I hope it's not annoying. Okay, that's not bad. Thank you. Thank you. No, just, you can stop. No, please stop. Oh, God. It doesn't stop. Yeah, let me just get rid of it. Unload, please. Oh, God, it's still going. How do I stop it? Okay, I'm restarting rain meter. 1 second. Oh, my God, I apologize. I didn't know it was going to do this. Okay, going. There, it's done. And let me get rid of that annoying box on the screen. And there it goes. Let's remove seed number 8. We'll add seed number 1. And we got vandweller, who's got a level 46 on their screen, but only a 912. Wait, that's not real level 46. 311 lines wouldn't be level 46. Oh, that's the, you're not playing on the card, right? So that's just that's level 37. Makes sense. Let me, before we begin, I'm going to hit the add button, so that's happening now. I'm going to hit the prediction button. And I'm going to give you guys a full 5 minutes this time because I remember the prediction. And while this is happening, we're going to go to the CTM site and put the walkover in. We'll let this add time out. Humpy, you want to inform Sodium? Policy changes says 14K on Nenu. Thanks, Pumpy. All right, so let's just very quickly review what's happened here. We have the orange bracket. Dan taking out Alan 3-1. Nenu going to move on in a walkover. And Dan going to be taking on Nenu in round 2. Which is about to happen as soon as I remember to call it round 2. There we go. There we go. We got Dan on the left, who's lost his cam, but he's gained a shark head. So that can't be bad. And then Nenu on the right. Dan says, I've never made it further than round 2 in challenges. Well, just pretend that your Twitch.tv title is on the line. And everything will be fine. So here we go. Yes, we're both eliminated. Dan versus Nenu. If we get readies from both, we will get some Tetris on the monthly Tetris channel. I promise you. And then when we're done here, we'll send you over to monthly Tetris too, because there's more Tetris over there. It's like all the Tetris. There's the cam. No more shark head. There's the bed. What? Nenu isn't from Poland. Why would he play there? Unless it's an online tournament. All right. Both players are here, and looks like we're ready to go. Old meme Nenu flag. Oh, is that what that is? They didn't invite. Oh. Did Sodium get forfeited? Yes, unfortunately he did. The timer has run out. He is still not here. More than an hour. Well, almost an hour after he said he'd be here. So we were pretty lenient, but we do have to be respectful of others' time, including Nenu, who's about to hit midnight over where he is. So, well, let's get this going. We're going to start game number 1 between Dan and Nenu. We'll begin in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. What the hell is that, man? Seriously. That wasn't even close. All right, here we go. So according to chat, Nenu's going to win this. If you believe the if you believe the prediction points. Although something, we could get a whale coming in at the last minute for Dan because we're still kind of counting down on that. It will not be me though because I have no idea who's going to win this. There's Tetris for Dan, Tetris for Nenu. No burns yet. Another Tetris for Dan. I am liking the tucks that I'm seeing on both sides so far. Nenu seeing the long bar coming, makes the adjustment with the T to give it a better spot. A little bit of a spire for Dan, recognizes that and is going to have to burn some lines. Yeah, have both streams up. That is definitely a thing you can do. Multi-Twitch exists. It is good. 115 for Nenu, 98 for Dan here in the early going. Does Khadgar still exist? I don't think so. Well, maybe it does. Yeah, Khadgar got net/live. Nenu, what did you do? I'm sitting here trying to check if a website exists, and you're over here topping out? Man, it's good for game number 1. Yikes. Well, that was a thing that happened. You're good, Dan. You can top. Dan says not like this. I agree, not like this. Dan's going to come back on screen with like this wrapped box, the bow on top, addressed from Nenu. Here we go. Game number 2 as soon as Dan's ready here. And not flipping hats around the room. All right. Game number 2. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Nenu hoping to shake that one off. Obviously not the way you want to start off a match. With a Mart-style warm-up done. Drop for Dan, but he's got a few Tetrises to get before he gets to that. I'm just gonna start burning already. Nenu, where's your long bar? There it is. Bang Tetris. Looking to avoid the catastrophe that was game 1. Dan set up, looking for the long bar. There it is. Bang, Tetris for Dan. And Tetris for Nenu. Vitz for Dan. I mean, Vitz is dumb, right? 91,000 for Nenu, 73,000 for Dan. Maybe we'll score another one. Uh-oh, Dan getting up high here. Is he gonna return the gift? Dan is going to return the gift. And what was once a best of 5 is now a best of 3. Nenu, you are good. We got a regular gift exchange going on right now here in Challengers Orange. Nenu is button mashing, apparently. Eric, can I finish my preferred soldering before this match is complete? I don't know. That may not happen. But there will be more Tetris after this. We're going to send you over to Monthly Tetris 2 after this. So, you know, you can still watch Tetris and get that done. Here we go. Game number 3. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. This has definitely been a bracket. I can tell you that much. If I'm being honest, the best game was done by a guy that's not even in the tournament right now. But we'll see what we can get here. We still have at least 2 more games to play in this one. Oh, Dan! What are you doing? Dan's at least got a couple Tetrises on the board, but he's going to have to do some digging here. So this has turned into a comedy of errors so far. Dan wisely not putting weight over that hole and is able to get just the right pieces to be able to do so. That's not easy to pull off. He should be okay. No, I was talking about Allenbot's win over Dan. Allen had to win it on 31. Bang Tetris for Dan, but Nenu in a pretty good lead here, 138 to 87,000. Dan with a flat burn there. It looked good, but the follow-up pieces do not look good. Where's the long bar for Dan? He's going to have to take a triple. So good burns here for Dan. And bang Tetris for Dan. As the skills of survival on 18 have come back to him. Bang Tetris for Dan. There's a Tetris for Nenu. Dan with another one. Nenu's still with a lead. It is a 10,000 point lead, but he's also backed by 7 lines. So call it a two or three Tetris space lead here. Probably closer to 3. There's a Tetris for Nenu. Dan getting up pretty high on his board, but does have space to burn and is doing just that. He's doing it rather well, too. Bang Tetris for Dan. And another one. So Nenu rolling is still tapping. The word on the street is he is rolling and has been for 6 months. Although if you look at the profile hasn't updated yet, so that still says Hypertab. Also, regarding the PBs, we talked about Dan's 1.44 before, Nenu with a 1.3. But I do believe that is a tap PB, as Nenu's having to dig. Has a T-spin set up, but is not going to get the T. He tapping at the moment? Possibly. Might have changed. Another Tetris for Dan. So Dan with the lead, 355 to 273. And that lead's just going to grow. Well, he is ahead 10 lines, but that lead is certainly bigger than 10 lines can overcome. Interesting little flick there for Nenu. But has to give up on the dirty Tetris to keep the stack sane. And this double long bar dependency just is not working out for Nenu right now. Finally gets a long bar to fill one of them. Oh, look at this. Bang Tetris column 8 for Nenu. And he's going to stick with column 8 for a bit here. Oh, he's down by 6 figures. And Bang Tetris with the well transfer. Good play from Nenu. Another Tetris. But Dan is just pouring it on here. He's threatening a 600,000 transition. Maybe not anymore. There's a Tetris for Dan. There's one for Nenu. Best Nenu can hope for is 500,000 at this point. Dan is 1,000 points away from that. Bang Tetris for Dan. Nenu as well. T-spin set up for Dan. No T. He's going to have to plug it. $5.29 is the transition for Dan. He will definitely have the transition lead. The question is by how much? Bang Tetris for Nenu has room for one more. Good adjustment for Nenu there, but it's going to just single in transition. 453 on that transition for Nenu. Nenu is in position to do some scoring. Dan just now getting in position to do a little scoring as well. Needs a long bar here, though. It's not getting a long bar. There he goes. Bang Tetris for Dan. About to say his board was getting a little unsavory, but right at the ship just before getting the long bar, and we'll score another Tetris. 631 for Dan, 553 for Nenu. A 17-line difference here on, well, 22 for Dan, 21 for Nenu. Bang Tetris for Nenu. And there's the Tetris for Dan. So 17 lines is almost enough, but not quite, to make up the difference in score. Although the later we go, the more it will become possible to make up that difference. Bang Tetris for Nenu. Dan needing a long bar, has a hole in his stack, can't really burn. It's going to get a Tetris. Oh, miss flip. Or actually a no flip for Dan there, and Dan's going to have to do some burning at an uncomfortable height. But gets the job done with some nice pieces. Very efficient on that burn. Dan's going to open up the right side. Bang Tetris for Dan. There's a Tetris for Nenu. 790 for Dan, 753 for Nenu. Dan with a canonical lead, but Nenu with the better pace. There's a Tetris for Nenu. Nenu looking to take the actual lead here. Looking for a long bar. Where's the long bar for Nenu? There it is. Bang Tetris, and that's the actual lead for Nenu despite being 11 lines back. 8:17 for Nenu, 8:01 for Dan, and he's way ahead in line. So there's a Tetris for Dan. Tetris for both players. Dan back in the lead for the moment. Bang Tetris for Nenu. And another Tetris for Nenu. He's got a T-spin set up as John. Not going to take it. Just going to burn that down. Nenu pretty comfortable with this lead. But Dan, he's got that 29 play. Not that Nenu doesn't, but no lead is safe. 9.54 for Nenu. 9.42 for Dan. Dan's board breaking down just before 29, but he gets a couple of long bars to save the stack. And now he's off and running. 985 on 29. That's the max out for Nenu on 28. Dan singling. Bang Tetris for Nenu. There's the max out for Dan. 60,000 point lead in favor of Nenu at this point. As Nenu about to go into 29. Setting up center well. Bang Tetris for Nenu. And Nenu not able to get anywhere in the kill screen. 1.097 is the score to beat. But Dan Sport's also going to break down. Nenu's going to take game number 3. So Nenu stronger on 19. I mean, way stronger. Dan had a 70,000 plus point advantage in transition. And Nenu not only brought that back, but also managed a 100,000 point lead going into 29. Hana, thanks for the sub. Much appreciated. So Nenu on the brink of a semifinal appearance. As we're ready to start game number 4. What was that post? So he had 1.09. His transition was 450. So that was a 640 post. Here we go. Game number 4. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. I think Nenu just now realizing how big that post was. Yeah, it was 640. So here we go. A little bit of stream delay on Nenu's side. But not much, as he's underway as well. Dan's at best 3 lines ahead right now. But Dan does seem to tend to get more than 3 lines ahead. I feel like Dan tends to play higher and therefore goes faster through 18. Tetris for Dan to start things off. We'll get another one here. I noticed that in the Allenbot series as well. Nenu finally getting a long bar. We'll get a Tetris on the board. Both players Tetris ready. Well, Dan's not anymore. There's a Tetris for Nenu. And another Tetris for Nenu. As the difference was only 380 points for a moment. So call it neck and neck. Bang Tetris for Dan. There's Tetris for Nenu. Bang Tetris for Nenu. Yeah, my voice better not be going because I still have another event I'm casting at after this. I'll have some time to recover, though. Bang Tetris for Dan, who's got the lead here, 166 to 139, but again, 8 lines ahead. Although most of those lines are on Nenu's board, he's just got to get a long bar. Bang Tetris for Dan. There's a long bar. Bang Tetris for Nenu. So Nenu with the pace lead, but it's still a 20,000 point lead in favor of Dan overall. And it's very close. It's neck and neck. Bang Tetris for Dan. I just got a work email that I actually have to look at. So I will attempt to try to continue commentating, but that's not fun. Nenu's board a little spiky, a little too spiky for the S there. Dan's going to take the lead, 263 to 228. And bang Tetris for Dan, one row off the bottom. Nenu's got his right side cleared, so he's going to be getting ready for Tetris soon. Just looking for the long bar. Nice tuck there. Bang Tetris for Nenu. Dan playing with a left well here. I mean, if you're rolling, I guess you can do that. Don't want to get too high, though. Dan still looking for a long bar. There it is. Bang Tetris for Dan. As we are still very much neck and neck here. Bang Tetris for Nenu. 345 for Nenu. 346 for Dan, who's got a Vit set up. You know, the vertical I-tuck Vit setup. And he hits it. The thing that he calls dumb. Bang Tetris for Dan. Nenu with a Tetris, but Nenu also with a pretty messy board. Gonna have to deal with this before moving on, and that's gonna give Dan an opportunity to grow a lead. And he's gonna need every bit of lead he can get if Nenu repeats his 19 performance from last game. Of course, that's not saying that Dan can't do a similar performance, but... Dan, next slide, please. Dan? Uh-oh. Is this me, or is this Switch? Let's find out. Alright, I'm gonna regen this. Dan is at 119 lines, actually, so let me do that. I'm gonna regen Dan's side here. There we go. 495 for Dan, 459 for Nenu at similar line count. So it's about a Tetris and a half lead for Dan, maybe a little closer to 2. As we're about to head into transition. Bang Tetris for Nenu. And last Tetris for Dan, going to transition at a nice 544. Nenu also can get a 500,000 transition and will 506. But give board state over to Dan at the moment, as Nenu's going to be digging for a bit. Dan looking for a long bar. Hasn't seen one in a bit here. Is getting pretty high up. Gonna start taking some smart burns. He's ready to burn some more if he needs to, but bang Tetris for Dan. 599 to 516. Nenu needs to get some Tetrises on the board, and there's one. Bang Tetris. First one to the post. We'll score another one there, but Dan has taken full advantage. An 80,000 point lead. Here on 21. Bang Tetris for Dan. There's a Tetris for Nenu. Another Tetris for Nenu. Tetris for Dan. Dan's got an overhang. Going to try to do the S snap, but doesn't get the snap off. So a couple burnt lines there for Dan as Nenu looking for a long bar. Bang Tetris for Nenu. Closing the gap. 718 for Dan. 683 for Nenu. We're on even lines. Bang Tetris for Nenu. There's a Tetris for Dan. And bang Tetris for Nenu. 17,000 point lead for Dan. It is shrinking. Bang Tetris for Dan. Nenu looking for the long bar. Gonna have to burn some lines. No long bar's coming. Dan's got a hole in his stack, but is ready for a Tetris. Look at him take this off the top like a champ. Good job there for Dan, getting that well, not only to keep the well open, but getting rid of the hole. Bang Tetris for Dan. And another one. There's the Tetris for Nenu. Yeah, this is neck and neck right now. Like, Nenu has a small pace lead, but it's not, I mean, it's within a Tetris. Bang Tetris for Nenu. 874 for Nenu, 862 for Dan at 203 lines. Dan will score a couple Tetrises. Nenu will get a Tetris in there. This is coming down to the wire. Because we're on level 27. Dan with a crucial misdrop, but can he get that? Nope, can't get the T over. Not sure if he even attempted that maneuver, but if anyone can do it, rollers can. Dan is approaching the kill screen. Both players' boards not in a good state. Dan has the lead at the moment, that's very important. Oh, I don't know if Nenu's even going to get out of this. At least not in time for kill screen for sure. 992 is the transition score for Dan. And Nenu will not make transition. And that means Dan's going to take game number 4. And that means I get to trade in my nice tall glass of coffee for a nice tall glass of the cider. So Dan able to pull away, starting in level 27. Getting that crucial win, sending this to a crucial game 5. Who's going to advance? Armstrong saying that was a crazy comeback from Nenu. Not as crazy as the previous game. The previous game was a bigger comeback. This one was more neck and neck the whole way. Nani. All right. It's decider time. Who's going to take it? Need it ready from Dan, and we'll be good to go. And Dan, ready to go. Here we go. We'll start in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Grandmaster Ubero says, if it's a level 19 start, I'd go with Nenu. Spoiler alert, Dan had the better 19 last game. But then, yeah, Nenu had a 640 post in game 3. So, I mean, who knows? This matchup is about as up in the air as it gets. Some back-to-back killer games after a short gift exchange session. Bang Tetris column 9 for Dan, although I think that was a misdrop on the first long bar, but it didn't matter. Results the same. T-spin for Nenu. And Bang Tetris for Nenu. And another Tetris for Nenu. 68,400 points each. Bang Tetris for Dan. Vits for Nenu. 5 in a row for Dan. There's a Tetris for Nenu, but that will be his last one for a bit. He's got a hole in his stack to deal with. And we'll get that square tuck. Another Tetris for Dan. There's a Tetris for Nenu. Bang Tetris for Dan. Tetris for Nenu. Scoring machines right now. Nice column 8 there for Nenu. Nenu 167 at 34 lines, but he's fighting perfection right now. Bang Tetris for Dan. Dan will take his first burn of the game at 9 Tetrises. There's a Tetris for Nenu. Bang Tetris for Dan. Despite that perfection, it's within a 1 Tetris lead. Like, Nenu has been playing almost as well. Eric says, thanks for going to the decider. He finished the hardest. There's Tetris for Dan, Tetris for Nenu. Dan having to do a couple of burns. Didn't look like he was too happy with the setup, but it worked out. Bang Tetris for Dan. And another line clear. There's a Tetris for Nenu. Set up for another one. There's the long bar. Tetris for Nenu. 304 at 58 lines. Bang Tetris for Dan. 301 at 59 lines. This is insane pace from both players. Tetris is in fact being played before your very eyes. Bang Tetris for Nenu. There's a Tetris for Dan. Another Tetris for Nenu. Nenu has taken control of the lead, but it's, like I said, it's less than a Tetris. Dan, I have to do a couple burns here. Bang Tetris for Nenu. 5 and below from Dan. Is that stupid, too? Bang Tetris for Dan. He'll get another one right behind that one. So Nenu with a 1 Tetris lead. As Dan completes a Vitz. And Nenu's lead has grown to 2 Tetrises now. Bang Tetris for Dan. Nice spin there for Nenu. Kind of calling it an actually useful 5 and below. Tetris is for both players here. As these two are pushing each other to what could be dueling 600k transitions. Nenu running into a little bit of traffic, but it's going to get that Tetris. It's got 500,000 at 99 lines. I mean, you know. And, oh, Dan can't get the snap. That's going to slow him down a little bit, and that's going to give Nenu the opportunity to get some space between him and Dan. Bang Tetris for Dan. There's a Tetris for Nenu. Nenu up 40,000 points right now. Both players already over 500,000, and we're still 5 Tetrises away from transition. Bang Tetris for Nenu. There's a Tetris for Dan. Bang Tetris for Nenu. How much is a triple worth at 18? The number I don't have in green in my brain here. Another Tetris for Nenu. Like, what is it? This is like a 780 or 680 for Nenu. Another Tetris for Nenu. Look at this. Look at this pace for Nenu. This is insanity. 617 was a transition for Dan. That would be good, except Nenu is at 676 at transition. Bang Tetris for Nenu. And he's just still going. And Dan was the one with the perfect start. Like 9 Tetrises in a row. This is just insane right now. Both players are just not given anything. Couple of burns for both players, but still open for the Tetris, and they'll both score. Still maintaining a 60,000 point lead, Nenu. Also with 4 lines available to him. Bang Tetris for Nenu. Have to take some more burns there. Bang Tetris again for Nenu. Win the pot. Thank you for the nice bits. Hey now, 69 bits. Dan getting into a little trouble on that right side, but he's going to clear that out. Nenu still 843 here on 22. Bang Tetris for Dan. He's at 760. Nenu ready. Looks for a long bar. Can burn if he needs to. Will burn a triple. There's a long bar. Bang Tetris for Nenu. 880 going into 23. Dan's at 766. Who gets a Tetris? That was a dirty Tetris. And Dan opens up the right side for more. Bang Tetris for Nenu. 910. We're not even on 24 yet. Bang Tetris for Nenu. 941 going into 24. Dan's at 832. Another Tetris for Nenu. One from Max. And a max out going into 25 for Nenu. And still going. This isn't over yet, though. Dan is pushing him. Dan is back by quite a bit here, but, I mean, Dan's pace isn't that bad either. Bang Tetris for Nenu. Nenu's still having to play. Gets another Tetris. Still ahead by 160,000 points right now. Bang Tetris again. There's a Tetris for Dan, but Dan is in trouble. At least not in trouble topping out, but he's having to burn some lines, and he cannot afford any more line burns as Nenu's got a 1.1 and is on 27. It's about to get a 1.2 here. Bang Tetris, 1.2 for Nenu. He's not even on 28 yet. 3 more Tetrises available. There's one. This could be a 1.3 going into 29. Where's the long bar? Give him the long bar. There it is. Bang Tetris PB for Zephania Nenu. 1.307. Dan's still going. He's got a 1.06. He's got to beat Zephania's PB. And he will not do that. It is a PB by 1,400 points, according to the bot. And there you have it. How do you beat that? Your bracket winner with one hell of a game. Give it up for Zephania Nenu. That was amazing. Honestly, I thought it was D12. No, there it is, 1.305. It was the old PB. Beats it by 1,400. Lapis says, was he tapping? I believe. I don't know. That's the thing. It's like he was rolling in practice. But still, I mean, that game was insane. The pace was just out of this world. 670. Dan had a 600. That's what gets me. It's Dan's pace was not bad. Dan maxed out in that game. But it wasn't enough. What's that, a cup, baby? Get out of here, Pumpy. GG. Zephania Nenu. Gonna be going on. And we can see the rest of the bracket here. He's gonna be facing one of E-flat, Oscar, Captain, or Nolan. One of those four. Not even half of world record. Feels bad, man. Indeed. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Let's send you guys over to Monthly Tetris 2, where we have some more Tetris action going on. Let me give you guys your points before I go. We want to make sure that everyone's points get accounted for. Wow, this was an upset too, according to the predictions. So yeah, Nenu getting it done. Let's go say hi to Sunny. And remember, I'll be back October 2nd for Deathmatch. Check that out. Till then, thanks for watching. See you, bye.